What is going on, guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at something a little different than normal. We're actually going to be taking a look at an unlimited deck. So for those of you who don't know, unlimited is a format that includes all cards that have ever been released in the Pokemon trading card game. No restrictions. Any card that has been banned in the past is legal in this format. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty broken format, pretty much full of win on the first turn decks like this one where your opponent doesn't even get a turn and you just go first and win. So this is an unlimited Bat-Donk deck is kind of the way I like to call it, I guess. But we're going to take a look here at the cards and how this deck works. So pretty much every unlimited deck is going to run for this guy, Sableye, with the overeager Pokebody. Whenever you start with this Pokemon, you get to go first, regardless of the coin flip. And if both you and your opponent do play the overeager Sableye, then the person who won the coin, treat it like it doesn't exist, pretty much. Whoever won the coin flip gets to go first still. So for Sableye, just to maximize the chance that we start it, we're playing a 2/2 Porygon 2-line, which has the Pokepower download. Which I'm actually going to have to read it read it exactly how it says. Once during your turn, before you attack, you may discard a supporter card from your hand and use the effect of that card as the effect of this power. This power can be used if Porygon 2 is affected by special conditions. So pretty much we get to discard a supporter card from our hand and yeah, use download like it is that supporter. So we'll go into more detail in a little bit of what supporters we're going to be using to do that. We only play 2 different supporters in this deck. So then we have one Crobat G. Just when we play it from our hand to our bench, we place 1 damage counter anywhere. And it has free retreat, so if we do start it, we could retreat it, but it really doesn't matter in this deck if you retreat or not. And then we are playing a 1/1/1 Zubat, Golbat, Crobat line. So we have this Zubat here, which has 40 HP and free retreat. You could also play the one from Plasma Storm that has the free flight ability, but that's an ability, so if they were to start a Wobbuffet or something like that, you wouldn't be able to use it. So we just have this one just because it has printed free retreat. Then we have the Sneaky Bite Golbat. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, put 2 damage counters, and Golbat to put 3 damage counters. So we are just playing 1/1/1 because that's honestly all we need. The reason we have that is if we were to prize one of them, we have this Azelf here, which has the Pokepower Time Walk. Basically, when we play it from our hand to our bench, we get to look at our prize cards and switch a Pokemon we find in our prize cards with a card in our hand. So if we prize a piece of the bat line, we easily get it back with Azelf. Now, if we prize a piece of our bat line, if we prize like Golbat and both Azelfs, then we lose. But that, the chances of that happening are so small. But then we also have 2 Uxie here with the setup ability, same as Shaman EX in today's format, except you draw until you have 7 cards in your hand. So pretty much just a nice way to continue to draw through your deck. So basically the point of this deck, we will run through our entire deck on the first turn and win the game using Sneaky Bite and Surprise Bite to KO whatever's active, and then using Porygon 2, we will play the Seeker card, and each player puts a Pokemon from their bench back into their hand. So if our opponent, even if they bench like 5 Pokemon, we can play all of these on our first turn through stuff like what we'll get to later with Broken Timespace, Devolution Spray, Scoop Ups, stuff like that. So yeah, we have 3 Seeker there, and then 2 Lysander's Trump cards, so that if we cycle through our whole deck, we just shuffle everything back in. The whole reason I wanted to build this deck is because, or an unlimited deck I should say, is because I had a full art Lysander's Trump card and didn't have anything to do with it since it's banned in the current standard format. So I built this. Now we're going to get to kind of the things that make this deck broken. Actually, first here, we'll just show the 3 Broken Timespace, just so we can evolve on our first turn. So if we were to use Porygon 2 to download with a Seeker, we can pick up the Porygon 2, and then if we have Broken Timespace in play, immediately play Porygon 2 back down. So that resets the download and refreshes it for another time. Also, we can pick up our bat line with a Seeker from download and play it all back down immediately because of Broken Timespace. So same card pretty much as Force Giant Plants today, except it's for everything. Now we're going to look at the cards that actually is really what makes this broken. And the reason I wanted to go ahead and make this video is because pretty soon this deck won't be playable because we have 4 Professor Oak. And if you don't know, in Unlimited, this is treated as an item card. It has the same effect as Professor Juniper, Professor Sycamore, discard your hand, draw 7 cards. but this was printed in a time where there was no such thing as supporter cards, and so this is played just as an item. We get to play as many of these as we can play, all 4 of these as if we wanted to. If we Lysander's trump card, put them back in, we get to play them all again. So we can literally cycle through our whole deck. But the reason I say that we need to go ahead and make this video is because pretty soon this will be different, because if we get the November set that is supposedly, nothing confirmed yet, supposedly going to have reprint cards, we will probably get a Professor Oak reprint. Then it will be printed as a supporter, meaning we won't be able to play it. So like in the past unlimited decks, you were able to play 4 Bill because it just says draw 2 cards, which is really good because you can play 4 of them at once. But now we can't play that because in Heart Gold Soul Silver it was printed as a supporter. So like I said, you used to would have played Bill, but you can't do that anymore. So now we play 4 Erica. Oops, there we go. Play 4 Erica, so you draw 3 cards, pretty much, is all it does. You and your opponent both draw 3 cards, but you don't mind giving your opponent 3 cards because they're not going to get a turn, because you're going to play through and win the whole game. All right, next up we have 4 Item Finder. Discard 2 cards from your hand and then put a trainer card from your discard pile into your hand, so we can use this to get Professor Oaks, Erica's, and I'm pretty certain, now I'm like 95% sure on this ruling, that you can use it to get back Seekers, Lysander's trump cards, and Broken Timespace. Now, you probably never will do that, but if it came down to it, that's why we play this over Junk Arm. So Junk Arm was printed in the same era as these cards, where there was a difference between items, trainers, supporters, and stadiums. There wasn't anything like items. It was just trainers, supporters, and stadiums. This came out in an era where supporters, stadiums, all of it was trainer cards. So because of that, I'm pretty sure you can use Item Finder to get back these cards if you needed to. We're also playing 4 Pokédrawer Plus. If we have 2 in our hand, we get to search our deck for any 2 cards that we want. Really good, really easy to get 2 in our hand, and even if we don't get 2 in our hand, the effect of just 1 is just discard it and draw 1 card, so pretty nice. We are playing 4 Acrobike because we want to dig through our whole deck, 4 Trainer's Mail because we want to dig through our whole deck, and then we also have 4 Puzzle of Time. That way we can get back anything from our discard pile. If we had to discard some of the Pokemon early, we can get them back a Puzzle of Time. We can double puzzle to get back supporters, we can get back Oaks, we can get back we can double Puzzle of Time for 2 Pokédrawers and then get anything out of our deck pretty much if we want to. So really, really good card. Then we have 3 Devolution Spray just to devolve. We can devolve a Porygon and play it right back down immediately as long as Broken Timespace is in play. We can also devolve a part of our bat line, put it back down immediately with Broken Timespace, so really good. Then we're playing 2 Scoop Ups. We just basically can pick a basic Pokemon and put it back in our hand, so we can reuse our Uxies, our Azelfs, our Crobat. This won't work with the bat line or with the Porygon line because you have to pick up the basic, put the basic in your hand, and then discard the whatever else is attached to it. So it wouldn't really work in that instance. Then we are playing 1 Luxury Ball. Just search our deck for any Pokemon that's not a level X, which we don't play any level X Pokemon. 1 Level Ball, which searches out anything in our deck except for Crobat. And we are playing 1 Scoop Up Cyclone as our A spec, just to, you know, re-pick up the bat line, re-pick up Porygon, and play it back down. No energy cards. That's the deck right there. We just basically cycle through on our first turn and win the game. It's like, I've played this dozens and dozens of times and it's never crapped out on me. I've been able to clear off my opponent's board without them ever getting a turn. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave it a like if you did, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and until next time guys, take care.